And we are ready for our next run. So here is Mageius running Wing of Darkness, 80% NMG paradoxical. Good luck, and over to you.
Thank you, Stump. I guess I'll pull up this. Feel like introducing my commentary.
Hello, my name is Derek, and I'm going to be doing some commentary for Mageius here. For Wing of Darkness, not Wings of Darkness.
Oh, hey, to be fair, not many people have heard of the game, and also the whole fact that, but wait, did I? No, I did not. Give me one sec. Oh, forgot to delete my save file from the other thing. Because, of course, from a new file.
Gotta love it, right?
Yeah, gotta love it. Save data. Also,
so when did this game come out? While we're doing all the save data management and everything, when did this game come out?
I think it was 2021.
Okay. And this is, I believe this was, I've seen it was for Switch and PC.
Switch, PC, and PS4.
Oh, PS4. Okay, interesting. 2021.
There we go. It's the type of game where it's just like one of those like random looking through eShop, checking to see mecha or anime or just random things, and it's like, this is a couple bucks. I can afford 6 to 7.
Those sometimes are. Those are the sleeper games. You're like, it's $6 to $7. I have about 10 rolling around in Nintendo gift card money.
Might as well.
Yeah, sure, why not? I like mechas. I like anime. Mecha anime. How about that?
Okay, anyway, let's get ready to start. We'll start in 3, 2, 1, and let's go.
Good luck.
So, you want to explain the basis of it while I skip through some cutscenes?
Yeah, absolutely. So, we are going to be doing a little bit of cutscene skipping. We're going to be using some death abuse, but kind of also not at the same time. Let me go ahead and explain that while you're doing it. So the prologue, basically you could do about 5 minutes of cutscenes, and then at the end you do take a loss, or immediately off the bat, take a loss, and you've completely obfuscated the prologue. Perfectly acceptable. That is the way it's intended to play out, is the death at the end. So we're just kind of skipping all the middle stuff right there, which is perfectly allowed. Yeah.
And
so go ahead.
I was going to say, that's the only intentional death you will see in this run.
There we go. Yeah, there is some, if you're playing a glitched category, there is some ability to do some despawning and some death abuse. That way your missions are a little bit easier, but since we're doing no glitches allowed, we're definitely not going to be doing any death abuse to help do some despawns. You are going to see all the battles play out mostly as intended.
Pretty much, and I just had to change my loadout for the beginning part of things, and I won't say headphone warning, but give me one sec, because I have to actually adjust my settings here, because this game can get a little loud.
Gotta love it when games are like, hey, you know how we're gonna start off completely loud and this is going to be the only thing you ever hear ever? I hate it.
Yeah. Well, it's more to the whole fact of, let me know if it feels a little too loud for it, but anyway, we're just going to start boosting in here, taking out some enemies. By the way, we are, I guess you could call her waifu for the game, Farah. I have no clue how to best pronounce the name on that one. I just go by however they pronounce it.
There.
So target that there, untarget there, swap over here.
While you're doing that, I wanted to throw out that we're actually going to be having several different weapons attached to our frame. So during our setup for each mission, we're going to be able to choose some, almost like a left and right weapon, as well as a back slot. Sort of like Armored Core, but if it were anime.
And if it was a budget title.
True.
But then again, some of those are good. So we need to go over here to get our next set of enemies. Hide up here quick. to take out all these.
This is your, think of like your games that you're basically defeating waves of enemies, you have targets that you have to take out. Those are what we are doing right here, is we have certain targets we have to take out in order to be switching and using different weapons based upon our critical need. Whether we need something that's a little bit more accurate, that has less ammo, or something that has way more ammo, that'll recharge faster, but does a little less damage.
Yeah, pretty much. Although you will see a hybrid of that in paradoxical mode, because we, unlike every other difficulty, where you actually get some health gaining and some actual weapons recharging, we do not get that in this one.
We are going all in on just one no health recharge. Got it.
And weapons on that one. If you notice, like, how slow it's taking my ammo to, recharge in the bottom right corner. So, hey, say hi to our other pilot. God, what's name? Erica? Sorry, I forgot her name for a second.
The name.
Yeah, best way to describe it is Clara's new, joining, like, operations, military, that kind of stuff like that. Look at the name of the actual type of mech thing it is for that one. It's like Flugel.
That sounds about right. That sounds about right.
Essentially, we've gotten through the first mission. Next is a sort of stealth mission. We do not need to change the loadout because 2/3 of it is essentially what we would want anyway, which is the javelin and the... You want to try pronouncing the back weapon?
It is the Geshtober. I looked it up. So a little bit of story while you're doing this mission is there's a war between nations, and we are using what is called the Held system. And the enemies are called, and I quote, blankers. Budget title, gotta love it. You know what, I do unironically love when they're like, you know what? Held system, here's our enemies, boom, done. That sort of game, they put a lot of effort somewhere else, and you can see that in some of these games. So the fact that you have different types of weapons, and you have different styles of mission, that to me speaks way more volumes than does the enemy have a cool sounding name that sounds incredibly threatening.
Not just that, but they also added in voice acting.
That is also true. And they didn't skimp on voice acting. If I remember correctly, the voice actors were not unknowns.
Not sure on that one. Haven't looked up all the details for it. But I do know that this game does actually have a physical version. And a collector's version, apparently, as well.
Now, do you own the collector's edition?
Hell no. I did not find out about the game until, like, at least a couple of years after it came out, so sadly no.
Fair enough. Now, again, while you're doing this, I want to go over the speedrun. There is 2 different categories currently up on speedruns.com, our favorite speedrunning website. And there is glitches, and then there's glitchless and any %. Is that correct?
Not yet. I still have to create something for glitchless. I just have yet to really have the time to do that. But each category is separated via difficulty on that one, because there is a bit of difference. However, the easiest category actually ends up being the slowest. Because
really?
Yes. Let me rephrase that. It's not the slowest, but you happen to you know how we skipped the prologue? Using the fact of taking damage from our boost if you use it too much?
Oh, I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Yeah, you don't have that happen in the easiest difficulty. Meaning, at minimum, you have to take the prologue.
Got it. So death abuse in prologue is not possible. Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
Also, want to go put some pep in there. I just want to let everybody know you're actually the world record holder for this game, correct?
World record holder and only runner. Check out the game, everybody. If you can get it on sale.
One runner's
Very true. But again, I highly recommend it. It's like, it is a budget title, yes, and I will honestly say this: don't buy this game at full price. It's like $30. If you can get it for like 5 to 6, feel free. It's short, like it'll take you maybe a couple hours to beat. But at the same point, with the way the speedrun is, you can beat it for like any percent in under 50 minutes. For no major glitches, about, I'd say, what, 55 minutes-ish?
What I'm hearing is this is actually a really good starter speedrun. Because I know, like, for me personally, over holidays, which we're entering the holiday era, some of these types of games you're able just to pick it up and, you know, a 3-4 hour game and an hour speed run. Those are great games over the holidays. Just be like, I have a couple hours while everybody is going insane, going crazy over the turkey and the ham, and I'm just going to be by the fireplace with my Nintendo Switch playing this game.
Yeah, it's like, I highly recommend it. It's like, I'm good at like just finding those games that are just great for improving your skill set, no matter what level of speedrunner you are. Like, as you can see, like, I need like a lot of control movement, having to control like not only where I am on with the camera, but also like precise things like if I'm going up or down with the altitude and stuff like that. And it's really, really like good to actually improve and good to actually change genres too if you want to try to go from like a 2D game to a 3D game, or just need to actually, should we build up some control or build up like some, you know, easy to learn stuff. And by easy to learn, I mean it's like if you ever tried learning something like Mega Man X or you know, other games where it's just like, yeah, it's simple to learn, but it's gonna take. But if you really want to master it, you're gonna have to like sit there and do that. It's one of those type of games, but the skill set you can develop with it is very good.
I learned that I could either try to attempt to speedrun Mega Man games, or I could teach my children fun new 4-letter words. And I decided against that one.
I highly recommend X then. That one...
That is fair.
It's one of those ones, like, I know the basics too, I know this stuff on it, I don't practice it much, but at the same point, it's very easy to learn. Definitely 100%. Anyway, you want to keep explaining the story while I take out these giant flying fortress things?
Yes. So, in this mission, there are several weak spots on this carrier, this bomber. And we can take those out, or we can shoot its main body. You could, for complete safety, I suppose, just stand there and shoot the main body, and you will eventually take it down at some point. Or you can take the riskier strat and try to shoot the weak spots. So for the speedrun, we're going to be aiming for those weak spots, and that'll help take it down just a little bit faster. We do have a special loadout for this, so that way we can have a little bit of ammo management.
Yeah, but, because basically if we don't, we will run out of ammo. And this done properly, we will run out of ammo just as the mission ends, if we are lucky.
There we go. You gotta love a down-to-the-wire ammo count there. Reading from chat, this game definitely looks cool. I will be honest, I had not seen this game until about a week and a half ago, and I am kind of interested in learning the speedrun, so it is definitely a cool-looking game.
And no matter what difficulty you try on it, it's very fun. And, like, I'm just showing off paradoxical mode, where you have limited ammo and other stuff like that. But hard mode, normal, like, really the only difference between hard mode and normal is you take... So I think the enemy health is slightly more and you take more damage. But even then, it's still pretty easy to learn.
And I always recommend, you know, being speedrunners, we often try to push ourselves to the hardest things ever and whatnot. Play on a difficulty that feels good and is fun for you. If you are not having fun with a speedrun, you're not going to be like, I'm going to want to learn it, I want to get better at it, I want to play it. So if playing it on normal or hard or paradoxical is fun for you, go for it. Play what makes it fun and interesting to you.
Heck, they even have a smooth sailing which is basically super easy mode. Fun fact, there is actual glitch with the game where if you close it out after starting it, you will automatically default back to the lowest setting, which of course is also banned in the speedrun.
Huh, interesting.
Because apparently the devs screwed up on that one. And anyway, I've got to play it close because I ran out of missiles quick. So I've got to... Don't worry, I've got enough of the... this is why I take the shotgun here, because even though it's a rate of fire of, like, you know, one at a time, the amount of ammo we get versus the damage output is a lot better than using anything else. It's one of the only missions why Striker is not used... Sorry, not the Striker. The Javelin isn't used on this difficulty because of the fact is that you don't have enough ammo.
There you go, I love it. While you finish cleanup, I want to go ahead and say, hey, thank you for the raid there, Dwarf. Appreciate you. And also want to throw out to Stump. Did you have anything that you want to shout out, share while we're doing cleanup? Is that okay there, Mage?
Go ahead.
Alright, yeah, this is No Holidays Allowed 2023, and your donations are going to Go Rescue, a dog shelter in Norfolk, Virginia. They work to provide a haven for homeless dogs, giving them the time, care, and love they need to find not just any home, but the right home.
Love it.
And as you can see, now that we've gotten rid of all the carriers, we have to take out the remaining ships. This is why I tend to use a hybrid approach, because the default kit gives you a sort of flak cannon style weapon, and that, while useful for the first part, leaves us with barely anything for this part for damage output. So we want to try to lock in and basically twist away into basically swapping, you know, our shots to immediately hit the enemy directly as fast as possible.
Yeah, with the flak cannon, it's just too widespread to not actually do the damage that you actually need to do.
And the Striker versus the Javelin is because, honestly, it acts as a secondary Javelin for most times, and because we can't afford to have that happen, since the Javelin does not get enough ammo for it, it's the second best option that works with it.
There you go. So that's what we mean when we do some weapon swapping. We're going to have to balance different types of weapons and what they do, so that way it meets the situation that we're in. Because the flak cannon sounds like it would be great, but with how fast everything is moving and the amount of damage we need to do, the flak cannon just isn't going to get us there.
This is true. And also our good multi-target things really do not help as much because of... Hold on a minute. Running low on ammo, but I've got to make sure I get that because of only a handful of enemies left. Because again, if you notice just like how long it takes me to actually get more ammo refilled.
There you go. Yeah, it's ooh, coming down to the wire. Looks like you hit bingo on ammo and you managed to get the mission complete.
Yep.
That is a moment right there where it's like, all right, I'm down to the wire.
This category really does help you learn accuracy on that one.
No.
Well, that's a good type of helps you learn stuff on that one. And I might add, this is timed in real time, not in-game mission time, because of certain things within not only any percent, but the fact is that some of the missions do not have an exact end timer, so harder to track.
Fair. Yeah, a lot of games like this would have like time on missions, but yeah, real time. I think real time always, for me, always feels better.
I'd say honestly, for myself, it depends on the game.
Fair.
If your game has a very, very, very good in-game timer, like, you know, very accurate, doesn't count loads, anything like that, like, yeah, go ahead, because that's probably going to be more accurate. I mean, though I don't run it, I believe the Metroid Prime community swears by their timer because it does not include loads.
Okay, yeah, no, that makes sense. I am predominantly a speedrunner who does not have to really deal with that, so I am I'm very biased, then, I suppose.
I mean, I'm fine with, like, either or. In fact, for one of the other games I speedrun, which is the PS2 version of the Macross games, I'm going to butcher how to pronounce it, but for those of you that have seen Robotech, you know what I mean by that.
Yeah. When I first seen your speedrun, my first thought was, this looks like Robotech, which to me was a huge boost of nostalgia, because I grew up watching Robotech. Honestly, if you told me, hey, look, kid, you're gonna have mechs in the future that transform, you might have to fight some aliens, but you get to ride in a cool Veritech, I would have been all about that.
I personally prefer the actual Japanese name to it.
Super Dimensional Fortress Macross?
No. Well, the Veritechs. Really? The actual Japanese name was Valkyries.
That's right, Valkyries. You know what's ultimately sad is I have a model of, I think it's Skull 1 on my desk, and I completely blanked on Valkyries. I'll agree, I do like their names, but that shot of nostalgia of Veritech just gets me right there. But, we're not playing that today.
And give me a sec, because I am trying to track where the one enemy I actually have to kill is, because this will cost me ammo if I screw up, and I think I've already done that. Let's see here. There we go.
If I remember correctly, this mission is mostly, there's a bunch of people attacking this building, and you have to take them outside, and then I believe you go into the building, correct?
Not really. Seriously, wasting ammo here? Yes, I am. Would not target the correct thing. Yeah, this is going to be a little slower than I'd like because of wasting ammo on that one, getting turned around. But as you can tell, just like how long it takes for some of this stuff to refill, this is going to be a pain later on. But nothing that I can't deal with. If we were actually using death abuse, this is where I dip and take a death to actually restart the mission and essentially, I should say.
Do you want me to explain death abuse while you do this? Yeah.
Yes,
so
please.
we talked about it earlier, but we've mentioned death abuse and how it does despawning. So in certain missions, this being one of them, you get to a certain major checkpoint in the mission, and then you can fly out of bounds or have a death abuse, and you'll respawn, and then you restart the mission, and enemies will no longer spawn in, and some of them stop firing. So you just have to take out a few targets, and it finishes the mission so much faster. So in a glitched run, I'm gonna guess, and I've not seen the glitched run here, I've mostly been focusing on the glitch list. This mission would already be over at this point.
Yeah, pretty much.
With glitchless. We would, because you can do the death abuse and the despawn abuse in the first chapter. I believe you said the second chapter, now this chapter. Number
First
3, correct?
chapter, yes, but it is slower to do that unless done optimally. But second chapter, third chapter, this chapter, and the last mission of the game.
Okay.
So basically over half of the missions.
You know what? And that's always good when you have a glitched run that has pretty noticeable glitches are always the funnest ones. I've seen a couple glitch runs against. All right, cool. I want to see some game-breaking stuff. And despawning enemies. Is there anything more quintessential to a glitched run than, yeah, the enemies just aren't here.
Oh,
They just overshot their alarm and they missed the Discord pings to go to battle.
well, I have to say, one of my favorite runs, and I highly recommend it. I've even taught the run before. Anybody familiar with A Link to the Past?
Yes.
Familiar with any percent?
I've not ran it. I've seen a little bit of it. Where any percent is just like you go down, you basically do a slide and go out of bounds, correct?
That's one of the
It's
versions
like
of
7 minutes, if that.
Oh, no.
Is it faster now?
No, world record is essentially, if I recall correctly, if someone's willing to grind out half a basic second from it, it'll be under a minute and a half. No joke there. No joke
You know what?
there.
I love it. I love it.
And even the simplest version to that is essentially you can use save and quit to basically knock yourself into the undermap and walk to the Triforce cutscene. Because of course they made it that because of course they made it so that the cutscene was active.
I always explain to people speedrunning, and I think anybody who's watching and who also speedruns or is very interested in speedrunning, I think there's the motto for all speedrunners. Speedrunning. We're willing to play a game a whole lot more so we can play it a whole lot less.
True. Well, unless you're one of those people that loves those kind of really, like, I wouldn't say messed up runs, but I mean, would you count something like SRM from Ocarina of Time that, or rewriting the code for something like Mario World speedrunning, or just you have way too much free time on your hands?
Nope, I'll take it as speedrunning. I'll take it. Did you start the game and see credits? You've got a speedrun.
Very true.
That's the thing, and I can, while you're doing this, I can say I highly recommend, like, if you're interested in speedrunning this game or any of the games you've seen, there is always someone who's like, dude, I want to show you how to do this. Like, let me tell you about my passion. Like, if I'm considering running this, so I can feel myself going, all right, I'm gonna be reaching out, going, all right, show me this run. Give me some pointers. What do I need to know? Or just let me off the chain and just let's start running. That is always the best part about speedrunning, is that generally speaking, the communities are always open and ready for people to come in and make the game better.
Or even just if you find a game you kind of like and it doesn't have a speedrun, feel free to actually create your own. Just my comment to that one is, just make sure you have an idea of what type of category you want for it. And if you don't mind me, I've got to now get rid of all these enemies. Get positioning myself perfectly, because they can be annoying.
I like these enemy designs. I gotta be honest, I really do enjoy. They look like they could belong in a Gundam universe, but at the same time, they're also definitely not Gundams.
True. I've got to make sure to avoid the giant lasers.
Yeah, those tend to be pretty dangerous, I gotta be honest. Giant lasers tend to be, of the things, pretty dangerous. In real life and in games.
Very true. And also in stuff like Star Wars, where it can blow up an entire planet.
I mean, that's true. That's accurate. Tempest points out in chat that this game, even for the Switch, looks great. I'll agree.
I mean, it's unreal. It's the Switch. If most of you that actually have a Switch know that the Unreal Engine games do tend to either look good or sometimes have some problems on the Switch.
It's either or.
Yes, it's never both. The only real problem I have had on the Switch is some slowdown here and there with some lag here and there.
Fair. There is a Switch version. There is a Switch. You're playing on the Switch. There is a Steam version, and you said a PS4 version?
Yes.
Interesting that they released the PS4 in 2001, but considering how hard PS5s are to find, kind of makes sense.
Well, you mean 2021, but even still,
Yeah.
I do have to say, one of the nice things about this game is it's very simple, very easy, and again, highly recommend picking it up if you can get it on sale, because it is not worth the $30, but it is worth like the 6 or 7. Because
I can see it.
let's see, got a few left. I am going to run out of ammo and have to wait a little bit, but again, this mission is all about just trying to not get yourself confused and waste all of your ammo on paradoxical mode. Because if it was any other difficulty, you know, burn through all of your ammo as much as possible. You have, you know, the ability to get a refill.
Fair.
4 left. Do not
You
get
got
turned
this.
around. Wrong one. Having to look for like the exact, you know, pink diamond. Oh, nah. Say that's pink or purple.
It is on the reddish side of the hues.
Yeah. Let's see, 13 shots left, 2 of them left.
You got this, I believe. I think everybody in chat also believes.
Oh, I know. It's just more of whether or not I'll have to wait to actually get ammo back. There's a few of them.
Now, would you consider this the hardest mission of the run, or is that still coming up?
I'd say for paradoxical, this mission 3 are the hardest.
Fair.
That's
Okay.
just because about, you know, ammo preservation
Okay.
and not getting confused like that. As you can clearly see, just like I'm down to almost no ammo, and there's still an enemy left, and it's finding that one. It will sometimes lock onto other enemies that are not the correct one. And there we go.
There we go. Congratulations on that.
Do you
This
want to
is
explain?
mission. Go ahead.
Go ahead. I was just gonna say, do you want to try to explain the story part?
Ooh, boy. We can try.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say it's technically our waifu Aura's birthday coming up. Essentially, her and Erica have become friends. They find out about it, you know, like via letter from her folks. So they decide to all get together and have a party for her, which you'll notice, which sadly we will be skipping the cutscene for. But at the same point, you'll notice that this is why the ending takes a little bit longer, because of needing to have people actually go through and set up a surprise party.
Got it. It reminds me of there's a video or an old meme video up on YouTube where it's like plot, 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 plot. And every time that there's a game where it has just, and then you're done. We're just gonna do some plot here. That's how I see some of these. I'm like, all right, here's the plot section of it.
Yep.
Which, if you are running it, I can always highly recommend, if you're gonna pick up this run to do it, play through it once. Vanilla, don't cutscene skip. Just go through it, enjoy the game, and then go for speedrunning.
And if you really just don't want to play the game normally, learn any percent, because you will be skipping everything and you can just enjoy the story.
There you go.
No joke, despawning half the stuff.
You
Anyway,
know?
go ahead.
So we're on mission 5 now, correct? And there's only 6 missions, or is there 7?
8, technically, because there's a second mission to 5, which is barely anything, and mission 6 is in 2 parts.
Got it. It's like when you get a test in school where it's like, there's only 5 questions. It's like 5A, 5B, 5C, 5D. You're like, that's actually more than one question.
Yeah, and on this one, it's essentially like after a part, you know, Clara finds out, hey, it's Erica's birthday coming up. She's horrible at keeping a secret, but she's trying to do the same thing, and Erica, like, knows but doesn't want to tell her that she knows. Anyway, we're out on a patrol, you know, for that one, and just hanging out.
There you go. It's a very anime plot line where it's like, this birthday is coming up. We should celebrate. And it's like, it's interesting that we're doing this during a somewhat of a war, but you know what? I'm here for it.
I mean, as I said, it's charming. And by the way, this is the first and only one of the only instances you will see of having your stuff be scrambled. You can still fire, but it's like you can't see your health, can't see anything like that. Your transmissions are being jammed, but at the same point, they teach you about it in prologue, but this is like legitimately the only mission you see it.
Hey, I don't remember playing it for prologue. I don't know what you're talking about.
I wish the devs had a bit more time to expand upon stuff.
Well,
this is what...
You know what? Maybe if enough people pick it up and play it over the holidays, maybe they'll do Wing of Darkness too.
I mean, it's one of those like smaller dev teams, but it's like they've released a few games. In fact, I think one of them is an RPG.
There you go.
But it's like, you can tell like small, but at the same point, like still like solid. Anyway, we're having to take out these enemies here that suddenly appeared, or in this case, just spawned. By the way, meet Rita. We can't kill her, you have no clue who she is, and anything else like that. Game does not expand upon it. You can tell that they probably were meaning to, but they don't. So we're going to ignore her because we cannot deal damage to her.
This is Rita, and that is all we will say about that.
Well, it's also, I try my best to see if you can kill her. This game only has one ending, sadly. Although, you want to get rid of all these enemies here. Make sure that the game targets her. We get it locked onto another enemy as fast as possible. Again, we can't damage her. And it has a habit of trying to target her.
You're fighting the lock-on system less of the enemies.
Yeah, pretty much on this mission.
I played a couple games like that where you're battling the game, not so much the enemies in the game.
Oh, trust me, I've done a lot of runs like that. See, what you mentioned earlier about the game like Battle Cry?
Mm-hmm.
Party Crashers. There's a reason I celebrate if I don't die on that mission. Because the game's AI is horrible and it's an escort mission.
I think we can all agree, again, as speedrunners, we'll all just agree, escort missions are arguably one of the worst.
Also, we have now essentially completed the mission to some degree. Erica is going to go call for help because we are essentially trying to survive this one scramble. If you read down at the bottom, you can follow along with the text of the game. While doing this, I'm going to get a drink, so feel free to talk about stuff. Or make any donations, if you got it.
I was going to say, Stump, do you have anything to throw out? Anything you want to read out? In upcoming incentives, games that are coming up next?
Sure, just let me pull those back up.
Got you by surprise.
Yeah, so as far as incentives and bid wars we have open, we have some pertaining to some runs that are going to be tomorrow. A character choice bid war in Super Mario Bros. Wonder, where Mario is currently in the lead by $10. And Site Read Showcase incentive for Spin Rhythm XD that is $60 away, and Sonic Generations Play All Unleashed Day stages. That's going to need $80, and your donations can be put towards both a poll and a target. You don't have to pick one or the other, so you get double the influence as long as like some are targets and some are polls.
I almost felt you channeling your inner Optimus Prime and saying you've got the touch and you've got the power. Those who remember that saying when it originally came out, don't forget to take medication before bed. Your back will hurt in the morning.
Anyway, story-wise, Erica is basically, you're buying her time so that way she can go back. But we can't fire or do anything else like that. So, right now, I'm just flying around and avoiding everything while just waiting for her to get back to me with, hey, I made it to base. hey, still have some problems, and coming back with that one. So you connected to the base, trying to let Clara know, like, got that one. Go on.
Is Rita actually firing at you? Because it looked like they just kind of went, alright, you defeated all the enemies.
Yes.
Mission's not over yet, but...
Yeah, she is.
Okay. Okay.
She is. I believe it would be a she. I'm going by the name on that one, so they don't tell me. Also, Erica's now been hurt for some reason, even with no other enemies.
Got it. Rita Repulsa from Power Rangers has hurt Erica.
And Clara, of course, seeing a very close friend get hurt, is sort of pissed.
Does she unlock Ninetales mode? Just feeling out the room on the anime vibe. What happened?
No, but does unlock another mode, which I will try to explain in a bit. Anyway, we've broken out of the thing normally. You know, basically, weapons shouldn't be working. They are. We still can't hurt her. But essentially, at this point, she has gone into a age on that one. You start to hear some stuff going on with the held system for some reason. With some things like unknown. You know, it's like, one of us get that whole vibe of like, hey, are you fighting against your own people? And no. At least I can't tell on that one, because they don't really go into that detail. Again, budget title, but worth a speed run if you can get it for a reasonable price.
So for the anime fans, we have just broken out of Rita's Genjutsu.
Now we're slowly fading to black. We'll explain story reasons in a bit, since we've just finished that. You know, we managed to get back to base, but Erica, by the way, survived. She is hospitalized. And now partially paralyzed. Which is not a good thing.
You know what? It's very anime, though.
Yes, it is. Now we're in Clara's dream thing from being there. And, how best to state this? We're just killing enemies at random while she is in a dream-like state. A while since I've played the actual, since I've watched all the cutscenes, but you get what I mean. Like that there. And this is one of the great examples of why in-game time is not used, because this mission does not have a thing, and that's the end of Mission 5.
That was an interesting addendum to the end there, which was like, shoot down 3 enemies, 4 enemies. It's fine.
Yeah. It's not over. We got 2 more missions left on that one. But yeah, that's one of the reasons why that Inc. Airlines, we want to first and foremost change our weapon here, because we're going to need a loadout for this one. And let's see, we don't want the stapler because that is not good. However, it gives us everything else, so we only need to change one thing.
You can definitely tell, and I'm going to go out on a limb here because I've done 0 research. Definitely tell, I believe this is a German company, isn't it?
I have no clue. I'd say because of termination, I think it's that or Japanese, it's one of those two. But either way, it is still fun. Also, say hi to Clara, losing a lot of her emotional things ever since her friend got, hurt, and only caring about missions. Basically, since we've become Rei Ayanami.
Okay.
To some degree. And they are aware of this as a possible, symptom of the held system. Your commanding officer tells that to Erica after she gets like that, because Erica is basically the only thing holding Clara onto a little bit of sanity right now. More of the, caring for her as far as anything else goes, and protecting her. Anyway, we're going to take it. Go ahead.
I do have a story question, and since this is Ray from Neon Genesis Evangelion, I do feel contractually obligated to ask, Does the health system contain the soul of their mother?
No. No, and I think that was only Shinji.
That you, yeah, I think you might be right. It's been a hot minute since I've seen Neon Genesis Evangelion.
I believe even then, Rei is the reincarnation of his mom. Yeah, it was really weird on that one.
God
if you
bless
really
Neon
wanna,
Genesis.
well, that and also the whole fact of just like how weird it was on that one. What gets worse is when you think about the fact of the one or two times in the one or two versions of it where he does end up being with Rei.
Yeah, yeah. Neon Genesis Evangelion. The less said about it is generally better.
Well, it still is an iconic mecha anime.
I'll agree. I will agree on that one. When you said just focusing on missions and only thing, again, I go the Naruto route because I was a Naruto anime, and all I can think of was so she turned into Sasuke, focused on just getting it done. You know what? Just one, mostly one directed at his brother. But yeah.
Anyway, with this one, we're just trying to take out enemies to be able to enter the, what they call mothership on that one. The enemy carrier, true enemy carrier on that one. So we're just trying to get through all of them to break into the ship.
I can't help but notice that the ship does look like the SDF-1. Or at least the Yamato.
Again, SDF-1 is kind of hard to look at because, honestly, that one has a transforming property, this one doesn't. Then again, I have to say, shoutouts to Macross as a whole for helping to pioneer the virtual idol. I'm not joking there.
I had to stop and think about it. Nope, you're right.
Mingmei was one of the first popular anime idols that got out, and I don't mean that negatively, but broke into mainstream.
No, agreed. No, I will. It was the 80s version of Hatsune Miku, and if anything has not made sense, you may direct your comments directly at me. I agree, because that was a whole plot line, is they used Minmei singing to distract the enemies, and they made her into a holographic idol. And
not just that, but it also was the fact that helped teach them to actually care about love and other stuff, and that war was not the only way.
Truth.
Yes, shoutouts to me actually speedrunning Macross games. Still one of the only runners of the franchise, and that includes in the not just in North America. Thank you for Anime Health freezing over in the sense when Harmony Gold and the current people that own Macross made up after 35 years, a couple years back, but that's a completely different story. But yes, that was the equivalent of Anime Health freezing over.
Yeah.
Lawsuits and other stuff on that one, but we've broken through that one, now we just have to go inside. And we just need to touch here to actually be able to have it trigger the next area. Fun fact. Death abuse in this mission actually makes a lot more sense, but we can't do that one. So I'm boosting as fast as I can because we're moving slowly inside, letting this go there, slowly approaching here for reasons. Immediately target onto an enemy. This is the reason why we actually use the setup we do.
This is the Death Star moment where you're inside the enemy ship, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much. And if you'll notice, I am flying backwards because they launch a lot of missiles, and just legitimately am trying to not die. And basically targeting as much as I can. 2 left. One left.
I love it.
Now that we've done that, we want to try to boost as fast as we can. Fun fact, if I were to actually take a death here, and then restart the mission, it would start in the second part of the mission, and with everything else despawned. Including the final boss type thing.
Huh, that's interesting.
Yeah. Anyway, we're going to want to boost here as much as we can because we're slowed down at part of it during that one. Want to immediately backflip a bit to dodge. slide down a bit, slightly, so I can actually target all of them, and I'm not caught on any of the surfaces. Mash as fast as I can.
I like this.
Twist and turn like that so I can avoid all the damage.
There's something so cool about games that are like, and now you're going into the enemy ship. Have fun.
And now I just need to avoid everything like that one there. Try not to die here. Swap targets. Avoid dodging left or right. I need to maintain health. 4 enemies left. 3. 2. 1. 0. Boost as fast as I can, because if I do not, I will have a chance of slowing down. The bullet stick there. Now I just need to slowly tweak, I shouldn't say tweak, but just like slowly inch myself up and position myself just so I can target the enemies here. 4, 5, 6, 7.
Very specific enemy shot count, and I love it.
It's purely to keep actual track of not overusing my actual ammo.
I mean, that makes sense. I like it.
Again, this is where you'll see me actually locking on and unlocking, so I can hit enemies multiple times with our lock-on stuff. Because I wasn't joking when I said we need to keep track of ammo on that one.
And the locking is kind of like almost like a weird aim assist when you lock and unlock, where it's like we snapped you to your target, but now you're no longer locked on the target.
It's also because it's just a lot faster to do that than it is to try to turn things, so you can swap through things fast enough. I might add, one thing most people forget about in these types of games is if you can fly backwards and the enemy isn't going to break formation until they get to you, lock on and just fly backwards. The longer you prevent them from getting to you, the more you can actually damage them. Fun tip for any of these type of games. Remember, if you can fly backwards, it's useful.
You can do it.
And now we're approaching the final boss.
Okay, now, can you describe while we're getting there, what is our, when do we stop the clock? Is it after a final shot, cutscene?
Oh, you'll
what
be
are we
able to
looking
tell.
at for timer stop?
You'll be able to tell immediately.
We'll unfurl a banner that says mission accomplished. Got it.
So here's the thing. The final boss we can't damage. At all.
Very anime. I like it.
Has a heart-to-heart talk, finding out more about the held system and other stuff like that. Highly recommend reading the text during this part. Essentially, well, I'll explain a bit, but we can't damage them, so now this is sort of a timed thing on that one. Because of course we need some form of an auto-scroller at the end. It wouldn't be a game without it. Anyway, since the enemy can just attack with a gigantic area of attack, we can just dodge out of the way on that one, keeping them entertained. In fact, when we can get something like this constantly, it's one of those things, if I could do this on a regular basis, I would actually submit it as a blindfold incentive. But it's hard to get that specifically lined up.
Yeah, I can imagine how this one would be a little bit troublesome.
Well, it's just the whole fact of all I'm doing is just legitimately holding right and pressing the dodge button. Sort of like how they have, sort of like how the joke about Skyward Sword and beating Demise blindfolded is essentially just doing something small. I think. I could be wrong there. Anyway, we're just dodging. Last this long, must, thing. So the others must struggle too. So we're basically just go ahead.
This is absolutely an anime like fight where it's like you're fighting, but you're definitely doing a lot more talking than fighting.
Yep.
I love it.
And I've got to avoid stuff because I am now taking a lot of damage, and now we just lost time. Luckily, there's a checkpoint before that. Really me on that one there. Luckily, it's not that big of a time loss. Well, it is a little bit of a time loss, but it doesn't matter as much. So now I just need to get there. By the way, how are we looking on time anyway?
Looks like we're at 53.
Okay.
Yep, looks like that to me too.
Estimate is basically to cover if or not I screw up any of the like missions 3 or 4 because of ammo and how long it takes to recharge. If I have to actually wait for things, it can take a while, depending on how good / bad I do at it.
No, and this being your only death, I mean, I would have long lost a long while ago.
Still, like, on the easier difficulties, you can beat the game deathless, and it still gets you a decent time.
Not bad.
Now I just need to... Actually, you know what? I'm gonna have some fun while waiting. So, I can position myself perfectly here. We are actually not locked into the final boss area.
You can...
Yes. We can drag them out and just fly back on that one.
So... And the enemy just follows you in and was like, alright, cool.
Yep.
Interesting. Is this, like... Is that a possibility for a time save in a future attempt?
No, actually.
Fair.
No. But it's just fun to do. Because we have the ability to do it, and we have to wait for certain things.
Fair enough. If you have to wait, might as well make it fun to wait.
Yep. And it's like saying it'll take you down, all that stuff is right, you're no longer human. By the way, that no longer human and mere weapon on that one. Note this. She is slowly, losing like her emotions and parts of her humanity to some degree, thanks to the health system to some degree. At least that's what they're saying on that. To some degree. By the way, we've now basically eclipsed the final boss, so they won't chase us. Her eyes are basically fading, which is why it's been red for this entire mission. Slowly going blind. Where it's just like, you can no longer see just the joy of bloodshed. And by the way, time is coming up. Time is when the screen fades to black, and it is very noticeable. Time is basically that kind of stuff, so give a few minutes, because we're almost there. I am human, and time.
GG.
GG.
Clara survives, however she got, shot down, hurt like anything, but still survives. It talks about that in the epilogue. Fun fact, you find out you're technically not even on Earth with this, because they say, one of her lines from Erica is, Venus is looking nice today. After, because Clara's eyesight is fading, with her and Erica basically become more staff officers. That one, in the epilogue. But, we have enough time so that I can play out the epilogue, or, we need to switch stuff. I'd say maybe like 3 to 4 minutes. I mean, if you need... give you a bit of the animation side of it. This is like the end of the first thing, the chapter, and then we'll see the epilogue. It's not long.
While they're playing out, do you have any shout out there, Mage? Where can people find more about what you stream?
That would be twitch.tv/Mageius1. That's Mageius, the number 1. I try to stream where I can, but I also work retail, so I try to stream where I can on that one. By the way, say hi to the actual face behind our waifu in a sense. And essentially, you know, I try to stream wherever I can. I try to root some games on that one when I can. And you notice that they survived, got out of there. Shoutouts to NoHA. It is allowed for letting me show this off, as it's a run that I rooted. It took me about a week to root, but it, you know, I've always found just like more small things here and there to it, and it's been fun.
There you go. I love it. This looks like a good game to be able to pick up over the holidays and just kind of mess around and play it casually and see if it's a good speedrun.
Yeah, as I said, it's very simple to learn. Like, I really do need to create a small tutorial for it, but at the same point, it's like, I mean, on the highest difficulty with good shooting, I mean, what was my final time?
It was 56:21.
Nice, sub-hour. As I said, the estimate is basically to cover, like, if we're not run out of ammo and how long it takes for that one. And if you notice just, like, how, you know, just, like, what's going on here, this is more just, like, you know, final thing on that one. Find out that, you know, both of them survived. I'll skip to the true epilogue, because that's just final cutscene there. Second.
I love this sort of animation.
何が私を助けてくれたんだろう。それは誰にもわからない。私はあの戦闘でひどい怪我を負い。
As I said, you can start to notice just like they had a lot of good ideas, but limited on some things. It's why what I've described, it's like you would want more. In fact, one of the biggest criticisms was, apart from the story and other stuff like that, was, you know, left them wanting more.
I really do think there's potential for a you know, Wing of Darkness 2. Because I think that if they added much more of the same thing, it could have ran the risk of being the same. Like, just very much like, alright, new mission, take up enemies, new mission, take up enemies. So potentially with the two, maybe in several new mechanics. You know, there's always options. At a certain point, they might have went, we have some really good options, but to do it now in this game is going to be more work than just making a new game.
You hear Laura talking about, like, you know, not sure what happened to the battle, all that kind of stuff. But, as I said, like, at the end, it's like both of them are taking care of each other, you know, being wingmen, and, you know, they're partners in a sense. Doesn't explain which thing on that one, but at bare minimum, very close best friends. On that one. It's sort of like the you survived peace type ending, but could be better. By the way, say hello to both of our waifus in a sense. Erica is the one in the chair, and Clara is the one standing. If you look closer, you can see Clara's eyes are fading, and Erica is sort of like no longer able to walk. Officer, you know, after the talk, I wheeled Erica outside. You know, as I said, like her eyes are fading, and Erica is like, you know, her, you know, helping, you know, explain the things to her on that one.
It's a bittersweet ending.
Yes, and if you notice at the very end, Venus must look gorgeous today.
You were on Venus the entire time!
Yes, apparently on that one. They'll get through this together on that one. it leaves it like the war is still unfinished, but it's, as I said, a bittersweet style ending, and it makes you wish that they actually had options for it. But again, I do highly recommend it. The game, if you can get it for a reasonable price. They even added music to that one. It actually had lyrics to it.
I like it.
But whenever they want me to end, I will. But that's Wing of Darkness, and I still do highly recommend it.
Well, I just want to say thank you for letting me come be commentary with you.
Thanks for
Appreciate it.
thanks to the actual commentary buddy, program that the community has actually started. It's been a great way to get more people to check out runs that they might not have, or to help people find, help with commentary and, grow and just get more people, interested in stuff, which has been great.
Yeah, I was talking to a friend of mine. I was like, I'm more nervous about doing comms for this one than my run, because today is all about a little bit of improv, knowing the game a little bit, being able to figure out some improv. Tomorrow, I've done the run at least once. I've done a run. I've done it several times, so I'm confident in that. But today was about the improv, and I really do appreciate getting the opportunity to do that. So
and I appreciate you helping out on that one.
Yep.
As I said, the more people that see this type of game, just I highly recommend it. As I said again and again and again, check out the game. Go look at. You got the ability to quickly check what its Metacritic score is?
I had it pulled up earlier. I believe it was roughly around... Roughly around about a 60, 70s.
And then look at the user score. The user score is like a 3.
Oof. I like it.
But
you know what?
As I said, it is the type of game that's perfect for just as a speedrun. Pick it up.
Do it.
You'll enjoy it. It will help you improve stuff. And as I said, they did a good job with it. Wish that they could have done more, but even still.
Yeah.
Stump, you got anything to add?
Well, thanks so much for that run.
Oh, hey. Did you enjoy what you saw?
Yeah, I did. That was interesting.
Anyway, whenever they...
And that was Mageius1 with Wing of Darkness. 80% no major glitches, paradoxical. Again, thanks so much for that run. And this is No Holidays Allowed 2023, benefiting Go Rescue, which is a dog shelter in Norfolk, Virginia. It's a great cause to be raising money for. If we look through the rest of what we have today, up next is going to be Jackal with Hotline Miami, Richard's Revenge, followed by Osborne doing Gunbrella any percent, and the day will end with Sloa doing Ocarina of Time randomizer. It's going to be some nice runs. And we've reached the end of my time as host for today. It was a lot of fun doing this, and thanks so much to No Holidays Allowed for having me for this. I actually will be back on the host mic for the first 2 runs on Saturday, so that'll be a good time. But for now, I'll hand things over to our next host, Kasaki.
Hey there, everybody. This is Kasaki. For anyone that doesn't know me, if you're around for the start, Gerbo let everyone know that I am now the head of enforcement for No Glitches Allowed, and its accoutrement of events. So, you've probably seen me in chat because I talk way too much. But yeah, so now I'm here, I'm hosting, and we are gonna have a good time, even though it's later in the evening, at least for me. But happy times out, everyone. Alright. But while we're still setting everything up, just to let everyone know why we're all here, we are raising money for Go Rescue Pet Adoption Center. Excuse me. I lost track. I had a brain moment. It's late, like I said. Yeah, but Go Rescue is a dog shelter in Norfolk, Virginia, and they work to provide a safe haven for homeless dogs, giving them the time, care, and love they need to find not just any home, but the right home. I know from personal experience that in a lot of cases, if someone saves a dog, that dog can also end up saving them. So it does a lot of good for a lot of people and a lot of animals all at the same time. So if you have it in you, if it's in your budget, we would happily have your donation. That way we can make sure to help them keep doing what they're doing and help them keep plowed as they go. Alright. But also on the event side of things, you are currently watching No Holidays Allowed 2023, presented by No Glitches Allowed. This event is open to all kinds of speedruns and showcases that runners have to offer, not just glitchless runs. We're looking forward to showing off some amazing speedruns to watch as you bundle up by the campfire this winter. Alright, and then one thing that I just want to let you all know in case you weren't aware, if you are able to donate, when you're on that page, you'll see an option for your targets and you'll see an option for polls. Despite the fact that, we're trained to think you're only going to get one thing for your option, that's not true. This is a 2-for-1 special. You can select a poll and a target with each and every donation. That way you can have an effect on the marathon and get to see a lot more cool stuff. Alright. And now, as far as I'm aware, we are currently still working on the next run. So, may take us just a few minutes, but we'll be right back with you in just a few. Alright, everyone, thank you so much for waiting. I've heard from the tech side of things that we are good to go, so up next we have Jackal running Hotline Miami Richard's Revenge. Take it away. Alright, sorry about that, everyone. We're just working on a couple little tech issues. As you know, what even is a marathon without a little bit of chaos and technical difficulties? But if you'll bear with us just a moment, we will get right back to it. That way you can enjoy the run.